Atheists say we have no immaterial, intangible spirit. Well, of course they do, because their belief is essentially materialistic. Mass energy are the only real things. They say one's personality is holographic, like software that develops in his brain. Hardware, however, software has no mass or volume, so it is immaterial. Could one's personality software be his spirit that transfers to heaven or the place of torment upon physical death in the software's best state? I'm sorry, I don't really understand that. I don't know whether the rest of you do. But just exploring it a little bit, there's lots of talk about using computer speak to try to understand the nature of human personality. And it's not unimportant, because the basic issue here, of course, is it all physical? Or is there an immaterial aspect, dimension, part of the human person? And that's usually focused on what's called the mind-body problem. And many of my colleagues do not believe in the mind, they only believe in the brain. But I find it helpful to observe that if you're a neuroscientist, you can wire me up and you can tell something, not very much, about what's in my brain. You can tell which bits of it light up when you show me certain stimuli. But you cannot tell me what's in my mind. Whereas I can tell you what's in my mind. The brain story and the mind story are not the same. And it's interesting in the world of people who work on this kind of stuff, like David Chalmers, and relatively few of them are believers, they're beginning to come back slowly to what we can call dualism. That is, there are two, not just one. And I'll use the word kind of stuff, but stuff is an awful word. We use it for everything. That there is mind. You see, the basic thing that moves me in all of this is that God is spirit. The scientists say the universe came from nothing. That's slightly misleading. The Bible says it comes from nothing physical. It doesn't come from nothing. It comes from God, who is spirit, and he's not nothing. And it's very important to make that distinction, because naturalism, materialism have got it upside down. If you want, the questioner wants to know what I think about the mind-body problem, there's a chapter in a book with a very misleading title, a fairly long chapter that I wrote. The book is called The Missing Link, and the editor is called Roy Varghese, and he asked a number of prominent scientists around the world, thinkers, what their take is on the mind-body problem. And you'll find a lot more in there. The man to look at is J.P. Moreland of Biola, if you're a Christian and want to follow some very sharp, serious thinking. He's just brought out a book. I can't remember its exact title on this topic, but it's really fascinating, very stimulating.